What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. I think we're gonna kick off dual ASMR sips. So I got my ADHD Stitch coffee, and we got some Gorilla
Mind.
What should we call this? The victory lap? I don't even know.
Doing well.
This is completely unscripted. You know, I wanted this energy. Like, Jasper and I have obviously been on a journey that you guys have all seen documented, and it was pretty surreal, you know, picking you up from the airport.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
And I just don't even know how this pod's gonna go, but it's not like we're not rubbing it in on the victims at all. This is the victory lap, doing well.
I say the doing well. The doing well.
We'll chalk it up to Jasper and I are doing well after that. So I guess, like, what were your emotions like coming to meet me versus, like, it's deep even getting on camera. Like, it's hard for me to talk to you. This is not like a normal podcast. Like, when we were just interacting, like, the emotion is very heavy. And this is like a death buddy of mine, essentially. You know, this is somebody that got to see me at my worst and, like, coaxed me along. And you were like the twin flame energy of, like, let's get through this.
Yeah, finally, like, meeting was weird because we're just in, like, our day-to-day, and I never think about this stuff anymore. Because, like, we seriously are doing well. And so it's like, in my mind, that's, like, kind of wiped. Like, I pushed past the whole 2 years of my life, and then, like, meeting you and talking is like, that actually happened. It wasn't like a weird fever dream, which is what it feels like after that all, and like our memory being toasted for like 6.5 months. It doesn't feel real, but then meeting, it's like
the past is real.
It was like, oh, that was absurd. And so that's kind of like the first thing that came to mind when we were like driving. I was like, oh, that actually happened. That's kind of freaky. And so that's kind of what's going on in my head.
Yeah, I think fever dream is a good way to I just remember our first phone calls versus, like, I'm like talking to it. I pick you up and you're like, we were both different people.
Yeah.
So it's very weird to see, like, the final recovered form. And then we think of, like, when the dynamics started, like, you'd be like, can you still talk on the phone?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, dude, I can't talk on the phone. Like how you said, like, you've moved on. I can't even place my mind into that state. Like, I'm glad it's all documented and over with, because I don't think, like, I could describe it other than soul death, and I can't put my mind, I'm so, like, blockaded off of that shit.
Yeah, just completely move past it. It is like a soul death. It's worse than like a physical one, because a physical one, it's out and over with, but that one's just like an impending doom. But it is seriously past, and, like, not rubbing it in anyone's face.
Yeah, we're not.
If you're sitting there and you're having a hard time, it's like, we've been there, bro.
We're the hope. We're the hope.
And, like, I still have people DM me, you still can. But yeah, there is hope. Like, we are doing well. I have completely moved past it. And yeah, it is pretty surreal.
Like, weed is normal for me. Did you try alcohol?
Everything.
The energy drinks hit.
Everything is completely.
The coffee hits.
I get a lot of questions about that, you know, people that smoked in the past. That's not really my thing, but it does work. You want to drink. The stimulants, more my thing, and they most definitely.
Yeah, you did Addy, right?
They most have a legal prescription. 100% PG, G-rated here. Most definitely.
Obviously on
works.
This channel.
Yes.
After what we did.
Yeah, right? Yeah, but everything works 1,000%. How it should with a normal functioning brain and body.
You're a 21-year-old man.
Yeah.
You didn't, you should have never went down that hellhole, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're a young buck 21-year-old, you know? You're talking to Julian last night about cars, and you guys are all tismed up, and when we were in that dark state, we wouldn't be doing that. We wouldn't have no fun doing that. And it's very tough to be on camera with you. I'm not gonna lie, like, the emotion is that heavy. I guess, like, going into this path, did you have a sense of, like, obviously it was a kamikaze type, you know, situation, but, like, now that you're through it, like, how's it like interacting with people that never are gonna experience that, rightfully so. I don't want no one to experience that at your age, because like I remember I picked you up the airport. I'm like, man, like your intellect is like,
I appreciate it.
like, you know, at 21, like I'm gonna think like when you're interacting with like the, you know, the degens of your generation, like, you know, you're set up differently for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I can't lie. Definitely, you know, beating something like that, it gives you, just being brutally honest, a little bit of an ego boost, which I think can be a very powerful thing. Some people look at ego as a very negative thing. I think it can be an insanely powerful tool. So that's a big positive that came out of me for it. 'Cause it's like, you defeat that, anybody here that's like working to defeat that, you come out of this, what is there in this physical world that could stop you if you beat that?
Yeah.
You know, it's been something that's untreatable for like decade plus. I don't know exactly when these drugs came out, but whatever the syndrome is, whatever you want to call it, it's been unbeatable. You do that, what's stopping you? So that's what's kind of been the biggest outcome for me. Anytime I get down on myself, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I think ego is like misunderstood. Completely. You know, like I could ramble on, you know, into Tism land about ego for a podcast, right? Like you can rest assured that his shield knows that you ascended. What's cool about the physical realm, you know, the material realm, and obviously wealth building and kingdom building you're interested in, but you are not spiritually a 21-year-old. After that, and I just like laying it on you, like you are on a hyper projected path. How you're talking to me, picking you up from the airport, like you're not gonna vibe with the average 21-year-old. Like you're coming and meeting some of my friends, which is like selections of like people that are like me, that work like me, and like form a tight little ball. But interacting with your normal people, I think, will be different, because you will just not relate to that pain that you don't even want to think about.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like you meet someone that, I don't like to use the word trauma because it's severely overused by our generation, but I think it's fair enough to say in this situation, if you meet someone else with severe trauma, usually they're referred to as like having an older spirit, older soul, however you want to put it. I think that's definitely happened as well. Like you were saying, hanging out with more regular kids my age that, you know, just in college and stuff, I can kind of degen myself down a little bit and get into that mindset, but then you pop back out of it and you look back at it and you are a little more...
It will feel like a waste of time, even though you're trying to like fit in, slot in. And like that was me for most of my life. Like with you, it's like that hyper acceleration.
Yeah, it's kind of popped up in those 2 years. Yeah, it was like 2 years of actual time, but like it's like on some interstellar time kind of thing, like sped up mentally and like my soul. It's like you come out of that and you're like, who was I before all of that? I like walked away, went to space, and now I feel like I'm like 35.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what it feels like, if that's a good analogy for
that's kind of like your soul strikes me. Like I'm 28 and like people argue, like I've heard on the phone by businessmen like, oh, Russo, you're like 40, you know. Like you, I definitely feel like that sort of situation with down. Like going back to your point on trauma, like with masculinity, like I just think you have edges.
That too.
You like males draw an edge. I don't think of all the edges I collected, but I know I got edges, right? I don't think of it as trauma, you just got edges.
Yeah.
And you can be smooth or you can have edges, and sometimes you form edges in your path and you just have some pretty vicious edges. Like, we don't sit here complaining like trauma victims. I'm not like reminiscing, you know, oh, we did it. Like, no, we're moving on. But those edges are real. You can't take those edges away from Jasper and I. And for everyone watching who's still in the fight, I do try to answer all the people still in the fight that kept up with me, and I didn't charge anyone a dime. As far as the current people that are keeping up with me, I just try and, you know, give words of encouragement and everything. Like, you will be bulletproof. You know, like Jasper is bulletproof. Sure, he suffered some aging on his soul, but like, I don't think anything's gonna phase you with how your generation is turning out, like you are the apex predator at 21, as long as you just lock in. You know, no more gambling with the vibe and shit. None of that shit. And if you do like a real e-com something,
then we're popping.
Yeah.
We are popping off. Don't worry. That's another really good thing to talk about. And I don't want to spin it all as like, this happened and now everything's amazing and it was an upgrade. Give yourself this syndrome and upgrade yourself. I don't want to say that, because there's positives and negatives to the edges portion of it. There's parts of me that, you know, prior were like
smoother. They're vicious edges.
Yeah, they were
vicious.
They were smoother prior, and then after it's like, oh, that's kind of gone. And in some ways, you know, you look at it from the outside in, and it is a good thing, but it's like the smoothness can be nice in life, but overall, you know, the edges that have been developed, I think are a good thing for my life and where I'm going to be and where I want to be. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's all awesome and easy being a hard ass motherfucker now. Like, that's, yeah,
it's surreal. I think surrealness is a good one. And the 30-year-old body your soul's a bit older, but you'll be glad you went through that pain younger, because it'll help you as you blossom up. Like, there's a big argument, like, should I listen to like my elder men and avoid the pain, or should I just embrace the pain and maybe walk into pain? Now, with our situation, should have been avoided, right? But overall, if you're just watching this, like, personally, I like pain. I need pain, and I like collecting pain. And then the thing about pain is you have to slowly let it go. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't just let pain go. I use it as fuel. I slowly let it go until I find a new pain that I need to overcome, and I start feeding off that, and then let the old pain go. So that's type of energy that people, you know, beg for later in their entrepreneurial careers as they burn out. They've avoided it all, and they need pain to keep going. You have that exotic pain that you can slowly feed on, let go over time. And I do see that being an extreme advantage.
And just like being able to handle stress. We were under the most, like, I don't even know if stress is the right word.
Yeah, it's not the right word.
That was something I was able to, but now stress is something that is like, you know, stress comes with anxiety and all that. That's kind of gone. Like I said, when you're given kind of like a second chance at life, at a regular life, it's like, what is there to be anxious about? What is there to stress about? And if you come out the other side of this, that's something that you can definitely look forward to having.
Yeah, I think when you come out the other side, it's grace. Yeah. You know, you're in grace each day. Like, even if like if we recovered and like we had to start from zero, I'd still be in vicious grace of not having that placed on me. And I feel like grace is like, you know, like when you walk on burning coals, like if you do it slowly, that's how I view grace. I don't view, I'm lazy, I'm going slower. It's like you're choosing to sit in that pain and slowly let it go, slowly walk through it. But I think we just wanted to come on like, it's over. Like, this is, I'm not gonna probably title this. I think the title, like, Jasper and I are doing well, and this being this little niche cherry on top video for that community, it's gonna be labeled that. We're not here to brag. We're just here to be like, look, like, this is what it's like after. This is how we feel, and those edges are vicious, but at the end of the day, like, you can have money, fame, all these things. Pain is one of those things that is a currency that if you overcome and transmutate pain, that's a currency that some males, some females don't really look at. And that's what makes a quality female male, is their transmutation of pain and stress. And I think Jasper is not truly realizing yet that as you form a team around you, like, that team isn't gonna know what you've been through to get to your level of spiritual rank and to get to your level of intellect at your age and there'll probably be a bit of a disconnect.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's what you got to accept as you become a boss.
The other thing, I don't know how we forgot about this being on your channel, is hormones. Completely regular. I get a lot of questions about that too. This is kind of off topic what we were talking about. I don't know how we forgot to mention that. Completely normal. If you want to go bodybuild your face off after this, it'll take a little while to, you know, fully recover, like to the point we are, but you are good to go. Speak for myself.
And then I think another question was like, we're not talking about the protocol we did. It's on the channel if you want to go through the playlist, but would you be able to get off? Once your CNS is firing normally, I think you could PCT completely off and
100%.
just move past it.
Yeah, and you could literally, like I said, and you could, like we do, never think about it again. I mean, meeting, we still think about it here and there. It's like, oh, that happened, but like living our daily lives.
Yeah, I'm fixated on my daily schedule. It's not even
working, hustling. It's like, this isn't a thing that we're texting back and forth. How are we going to fix this? How are we going to fix this? That's not a part of our life anymore. And that can be you too. Like, it's tough, but
we're hope. I mean, it's a beacon of hope, a beacon of light is better than no hope, no light.
Because there's like none at all.
There was none when we were doing that. It was a kamikaze.
There was like faceless Reddit posts, and you never know how to feel about those, because like since the dawn of like internet forums, there's always faceless accounts saying,
I figured it out.
Yeah, I did it, guys. And it's like, I didn't even do anything, I just recovered naturally. It's like, okay, that doesn't help anyone. This is like us saying, we did it. It was really hard and difficult and awful, but like documented 100%. You can see it and view it and literally watch us change how we interact and talk through the different videos.
Yeah.
So we've done like 3 videos together, and I guarantee you we are talking and communicating differently in every single one of them. So
yeah, and we were so fatigued on those videos. I was just like, again, a kamikaze documentation as we risked it. Like, that was a documentary, right? This is the weed's normal, porn's normal, alcohol's normal. He took Adderall, got zooted up. I'm drinking coffee. I feel the coffee. I feel all the PEDs normally. All my dosages are lower. My physique has morphed. It's taken forever for the DOM cycles to recycle. And once I'm holding normal fullness, and Colin says I am holding normal fullness, and he's giving me that bar, and I'm gonna peel the blubber off as I can output the vlogs to make the blubber come off. I don't wanna like peel the blubber off like and then just be back. I want that period, and that's coming up soon. So this is pretty much like the final cherry. I will read the comments, but I don't really have like much to say in this comment section. Like, I don't know if you wanted to speak to the comment section, because there's not more than we can do. I don't want anything to do with thought like every victim that recovers pushes this community behind. You know, this is a legacy playlist that has been allowed to be on my YouTube channel for a reason, in my opinion. And I'm gonna put this as the cherry on top. Like, it was very emotional picking him up from the airport. Like, when we're talking, it's like heavy. And we truly remember like how we first started talking versus like, I didn't even know this version of you. You didn't know this version of me. And it's very surreal to see all that dynamic flip. But like, if you're asking like if we respond to stuff, it's normal. Yeah. I don't think about it. I don't wake up and think about it at all.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's a good point. Back when you're suffering through it, literally, I guarantee you somebody can relate to this. I wasn't the only one, I know that. You wake up every morning and it's like, the first thing you think about is anything better? Am I okay? Am I improved? That doesn't happen anymore.
No.
And like, speaking to the gym stuff, like 2.5 months ago, I like gym celled my face off for like probably 3-4 months. Got like super peeled, and then bulked up to like, I'm like 6'2". I got up to like 235, almost 240 of like really solid weight, like still having quad veins and stuff. I've been hustling, trying to get the bag up more recently, so I've stepped away from slamming 6-7 meals a day. But like,
yeah, you're not a gym cell. Yeah, you know, you did that to help your CNS, and
yeah, exactly.
It's not your forte. And
yeah, I did. But the thing is, I can do that, and then I can come right back to what I'm probably like waiting yesterday. I was 215. I can come back down to 215, drop 20, 25 pounds, and my brain is running 110%. I'm here talking on a video, probably semi-quick, because I have all of the N-acetylcysteine and alpha GPC that is working in my brain to full capabilities. Yeah, you can do that.
Well, you can actually feel the alpha GPC.
Yeah, coursing. That's
so like when I would take like copious amounts of drugs during that and feel nothing.
Right.
And then I'd go online and there was some like bullshit tribulus pill that was apparently working in those forms.
When you drink caffeine and get tired and take a nap on the way, yeah, awesome.
It's just...
Yeah, we're firing. Doing well.
Doing very well. And I wanted this emotion to be like, I like that this is a janky one because like we don't know like how to wrap that. You know, it's like, I'm trying to think of like what the people suffering would want to hear live unscripted. Everything works normal. This is going to be the final video. He came to me in person.
Yeah, we're hanging out, chopping it up.
We're chilling.
Hustling, talking business and stuff. I think this is something that could actually help, because I'm thinking back to when I was in that position. Just like the feeling of hopelessness and hearing other people say they're doing awesome, it kind of sucked, and that's not what we're trying to do. Having like, how am I going to get out of this? What are we going to do? Like, the videos are up. You know, he is busier than me. My Instagram is in these videos. You can DM me. I've helped a decent amount of people. I try to get back to people, but like, don't have that feeling of hopelessness. Tell yourself that you are going to get through it, because if you put your mind to it and really figure it out, if there's a will, there's a way 100%. So don't be hopeless, because that'll just murder your soul more than it already is.
The evidence is in the video playlist. I mean, you can see the evolution of how we're talking. You can feel the vibe difference.
And you can go back to his old videos and literally look at his face respectfully. It was extremely deathly and Skeletor, and that wasn't because of his diet or...
I was actually binging.
Yeah,
I was binging.
There's nothing that he could have really done besides, like, I guess, slam a bunch of, like, semaglutide or something to try and make himself look like that. Like, that was legit, and now he's here with his puffy ass. Not
I know, like, I'm the bloat lord again.
Yeah, like, it's legit, like, we did it. We're not glazing ourselves, but, like, it's possible.
No, we're not trying, I'm not trying to glaze, I'm not trying to rub it in their face. We're not here, like, it's documented. That protocol is as out as I can make it. I'm glad the playlist stayed up for those people watching. Like, I'm glad that if you watch all that content on 2x speed, you have your own mind, you can make your own independent decisions, and you can consider all the extreme risk factors. But this is us now. I am going to pull the blubber off. I'm gonna document that. I squatted 405.
He's gonna cut.
Huh?
I said, he's gonna cut.
For the first time in a decade.
Yeah. Continue.
No, I squatted 405. It's like, I think when I could barely like squat like 25 on each side.
Right.
So 405, no belt, no sleeves, real rep. And yeah, it took my CNS some DOM cycles to get through that. But like,
a lot of DOM cycles.
Now I can train pretty close to where it's like, all right, I'm gonna pull the blubber off finally. You know, my face, like Jasper mentioned, it's all there. We don't need to, we're not here high-fiving or any of that shit.
It's back to normal.
And we're not reminiscent, right? We're not. You know, it was very surreal because we remember those first phone calls. We remember how it was so hard for us to communicate versus like we were talking to Julian Danino till like 1 a.m. last night, just bang, 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 bang. And I was smoking THC during it.
Yeah.
And I was fine. Could not say that the previous year whatsoever. You know, Julian would come over and like give me a couple sentences and let me like rest through that. Like now we can just talk like normal people.
Yeah, and even like gym stuff, going back to that, you know, in that state, I get a lot of people DM me like, dude, like I get you're a bodybuilder, like respectfully, a lot of your self-confidence and ego does lie in your physique, and when you're in that state, no matter what you do, your physique doesn't stay. Like he was more extreme than me, but like no matter what I did, I was just slowly withering away. And now it's like I'm getting, honestly, it's kind of sad to say, but like 3 solid workouts a week probably, and like 2 meals a day. And like I'm not huge, but you can ask him. Like you see me, you know I lift.
Yeah.
I'm like 6'2", like 215, like a big dude. And it's like,
no, you had separation and everything last night.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm not on. I'm really just cruising, like TRT dad kind of thing. Like that's possible.
And when we were in the fight, you were training like a motherfucker. Like we were in a fight.
Yeah.
You know, it was a dog fight.
And going backwards.
You know, it was a dog fight. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know what else I want to say. I think to wrap it, like that's an infamous YouTube playlist on my channel. This is a cherry on top video. I will look through the comments. But yeah, like I moved on. Jasper came out. Doesn't get any like better than that, you know, like he did the same thing. We walkie-talkied the whole way and modded it. I don't want to personally answer anything about, you know, I'm going to help the people that were, you know, with me during that time. I still do send them voice messages and stuff. But I'm not looking to capitalize off that community in a financial manner. I'm not looking to shove our protocol into the middle of that.
No.
We're good.
I don't think anybody's trying to capitalize. Anybody, yeah. That was a big thing. People are trying to capitalize off the community and make money off them. People, him and the other coaches that people don't like in this space, like they're actually turning away money from the community, man. Like,
yeah, it got with that. I don't want to say too much political stuff, but like, as someone who can get clients, and I may open up paid plan assessments. I may do that, and if you want to file one, I'm not going to deny it, but please, I'll say it publicly. Like I don't want one, right? And it's more for bodybuilding cycles and stuff. But for all the coaches that weighed in and all the big coaches and the big YouTube channels tried to help that community, we weren't trying to make money off you guys, right? With bodybuilding in general, there's enough troubleshooting to where that community, the intelligence wanted to leak in of you're not taking tribulus pills or eating some diet, right? You're having some of the most brilliant minds that put themselves in front of a camera on YouTube, multiple, taking, you know, their time for money, right? Because time is worth money. And they invested in the community, just saw that as what? Like, we were in the same position as you guys. We're not bragging here. We just want to be that beacon of hope, that beacon of light. But like, nobody was trying to drain cash. Nobody. Like I didn't.
There are some people that we do not associate with that may have tried to do that to you, and if that did happen, like that sucks because it happened to me, unfortunately. So there's some people out there, but like that's not what we're here to do. He won't take money for it. We're just here as hope. So it doesn't have to be part of it, but also like it cracks me up when people are like in the forums like just fast, bro. Like just do a fast, get it out of your system. And it just kills. I used to see those and they're like, just do a fast, bro. And it's like, are you serious? What are you talking on right now?
Do a fast while like I data collected and people are going like 8 to 15 years.
Oh my gosh, just fast.
Like
bro.
there's a reason why this YouTube playlist, like I'm done with it.
Yeah.
It showed what we did. We are completely normal. We can go about our lives. We're in Tism Town. We're doing great. I'm vibing up. And I'm gonna peel the blubber off. It looks like I lift again. You guys saw the previous vlog where it looks like I lift. That's all I'm claiming. And then I squatted 405, beltless, no sleeves, on camera for a clean rep. I made it through the DOM cycle. And now it's looking like, you know, I can actually look like I can take training seriously, and it's worth dragging my camera to the gym than like me on the leg press, like, you know, barely doing anything.
He could do more than 405. He's just playing it safe under directions of the coach, but yeah.
Yeah. I also want to go on a wrestling mat, and the coach is not for that either, but
I wonder how we're gonna look back at these videos in like 20 years.
I feel like the emotion will be attached.
And our kingdom, successful, looking back, like, wow. We'll probably look back and be like, that was a very vital step to get to where I am right now. That's how everything always goes, man. You look back and you're like, I wouldn't have gotten here without that. I think that's how it'll be.
I think nothing as you build your kingdom, like you said, is really gonna phase you.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing like not sleeping for that long and making quick decisions in that state and troubleshooting in that state, then receiving ginormous amounts of information to sift through, and then the coordination. It was something that, you know, you're replicating, like you're in like the ship, you're at the cruise ship, all the lights are blinking and you're just
trying
still on the steering wheel.
Right.
Like you're going down with the ship, fuck it. Like everyone else got off the lifeboats and somehow the storm cleared and you meticulously work through every error and you're the only person left on the ship and everyone's like thought you died and you didn't.
And you just came out the other, then you pop up and they're all in town and you walk in.
Yeah, you're at port, like your BDE, your big dick energy after doing that. It's just like...
That's funny. That's a good analogy.
I don't really got nothing, man. I don't really got nothing. Like, I just, like, I know, like, they're going to want a long one, so I'm, like, dragging it a little bit.
We just had to do this. Like, the link up. We're, again, doing well. Like, it would have been criminal not to make, like, a podcast, you know?
Yeah. Something. Also, show off your frequency, because... you got a crazy frequency out of that, and I'm very excited to see what you do with it, considering you're only 21.
Yeah.
And, you know, my little words of like, yeah, I don't think the normal person is going to relate to you, and I think you will have employees or people around you helping you, and you just got to separate that. They won't understand where that
vibe
comes from, because that's a one-off exotic pain that you got access to transmutate.
Yeah, anyone that's like stuck in that, I mean, you know, I'm like a very positive person. Now, I was still telling myself, like, you're gonna get out of this, you're gonna get out of this. Manifesting, getting here, I was, and I always have done that. But like, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it's like, it can be for a reason. Like, don't look at it as like, I'm stupid, I can't believe I took that. Like, move past that. Like, sit there, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm gonna get out of this and I'm gonna come out of the other side like crushing it. Like, that's the only way. That's the only way you should look at it, because any other way you're just gonna feel more and more and more hopeless. Versus you watch this, you see us vibing, you see us saying like, you know, it was hard, we came out the other end and we are like killing it now. Look in the mirror and be like, that's gonna be me. Like, tell yourself that's gonna happen. Because if you don't, like, respectfully, this is going to sound douchey, but like, you're going to be part of the 99.9% that is stuck in that. You have to be a little different. So like, that's another like piece of advice that I would give to someone. Tell yourself you can make it happen, and you will. Your words are powerful.
And all the information's right there. It's in that video playlist, you know. I definitely won't be commenting for the specifics. I think you'd really have to weigh the risk to reward for yourself, but that is documentary information that a lot of very intelligent people collected and weighed into my path and Jasper's path. It's available for free. Obviously, Jasper and I, if we had access to this playlist when it first happened,
oh yeah,
I would actually be, you know, like, I'd have hope the whole time. So like, that's my angle, and I'm not coming from a narcissistic angle. It's just like, if that happened to me and this collection of videos was already established, maybe like I don't do it because it's too dangerous, but like, that's already out in the public. Like, there's medical professionals that observe that. There's high-level coaches that observe that. The, you know, variables that are fucked up, it's established and locked. I would be a little bit more relaxed these days with that.
Yeah, that was like the part for me. Like I always talk to him about being in that state. It's like I'd get a glimpse or a feeling of hope, and then I just crash down lower mentally after that was taken from me. You know, I'd be like, oh, I found a coach that said he could help me. For example, actually not for example, but someone took my money, whatever, gone, hope gone. I'm like, can I find someone else? I email one guy, he's like BSing me. I'm like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He just wants my money. I find Leo, if you watch the other videos, he sends me some instructions and is like, get back to me later with how it is. 2 days later, he literally gets murdered. And that was like my lowest point. Like I'm driving back from my work and I was like genuinely like about to be in tears because I like that was the information pool that I had, his brain, and that literally isn't functioning anymore. He is a dead man. That was like the bottom of the barrel for me. And then I connected with him after that, and you guys have all the information that we have, and you also have two people that are thankfully still alive.
And everyone's credited.
Yeah.
Everyone's credited, and it's our path. It's an experiment. We lucked out. All the information's right there. There shouldn't be hopelessness. I think that's like what we want to conclude. No hopelessness, right? There's a beacon of light, there's a beacon of hope. We wouldn't come on here lying, right? You're gonna see me train on camera. I think a 405 squat versus what I was doing on camera was pretty different. You know, my face looks different. Jasper looks like a normal 21-year-old, right? Sure, he vibes a bit crazy higher than a normal 21-year-old, but like he is not in a trauma loop when he came over. He's not telling me like, oh, I can't, you know, we didn't go into that sort of crazy ramble. We're calm with it. We're moved on. It's in the past. It's edges. You know, we drew edges. It's done. You can just use the bar. I understand. Move on. He understands. I understand. Done.
Yeah.
And we just want to wrap it like that because I don't want to see like, oh, like now what if there's another method? And this is like
the worst DMs to get.
Yeah, like I don't want to hear any new methods. I don't want to hear nothing. Like it's wrapped. I'm done. And Jasper followed me along.
Yeah.
So you have two individuals that will not only show complete humility on camera, but we will actually come back to this community and make this video, not to gloat, not to mock, nothing, right? Just to show like this is us after.
And devil's advocate, people say that he might have done this for views, and like I've said, that would be the worst marketing ploy of all time.
Oh my God, my brand.
Like
I'll say it right now, my brand, like, thank God it looks like I lift again.
Yeah.
Thank God it looks like I lift again.
Like that would be like the whatever the opposite title of a marketing director would be, that would have to be this guy if that's what he was trying to do for views. So say he was trying to do that, get him out of the picture. Why would I be here? To have guys DM me like there's zero, there's no.
You just told me like you're not a gym cell like me. You're doing normal stuff. After you're done with it, you put the gym back 3 days a week. You're still in the gym.
I'm probably gonna go hop off right after this and like go and work. Like, there's no positive gain for me out of this. So yeah, two amazing examples. If you want to take him out of the picture, because he is fitness figure, I'm here. So I don't. After that, there's not much to really say. There is always hope. Like you said, hopelessness.
Did I charge you?
No, $0. He definitely could. I probably would have paid him. But yeah, hopelessness.
We didn't know how much HCG we needed.
Oh God, dude. Yeah, that was unbelievable. Anybody that's done that, the whole protocol is so ridiculous. I think about that every once in a while. Absurd. Yeah, the hopelessness was the one thing that was like slowly killing me during all of that. Even though, you know, I was trying to manifest my own healing through all of it, still in the back of my head, the hopelessness, like, what if I never get out of this? Which is probably just going to be off myself, respectfully. Don't know if he's going to edit that out, because that is kind of harsh.
I honestly think that's like just dead ass.
Yeah,
you know, like we're not like there's 100% hope.
Yeah.
Like there is. You could say what you want about this situation. A big spotlight got shined. The best minds, as far as this sort of stuff, weighed in, and then medical professionals obviously observed. So take the money out of it, whoever you want to blame on that. There's multiple parties, but for everyone in that boat, like, big attention. And this is me making the final video as the cherry on top. We did it, right? We fist bump, we're done. We're done. This is gonna be the final one. I don't know what other evidence we can provide.
This is literally an in-person.
We do not want to make this up. I didn't do it for clout, and it seemed to be in my divine path that it needed to be solved. It seemed like Jasper was meant to meet me in this path. It was a lot, you know, for us to meet each other, but we don't think about this no more. And bringing this heat, this emotion, is just to show you that this is a heavy pod for us to make. And I like that it's janky and shit, because we don't got much to say. It's over, it's done with. You know, males are smooth or males have edges. We have some edges, you know, it is what it is, right? Anything else?
No, it's just real. Like, you're talking about it being janky. I personally don't think it is. We literally sat down, I clipped on my mic, we got on here and just talked.
I'll say it's janky in like the fact, like, I'm not trying to be smooth at all on this pod. I'm not trying to be like, Russo, like, oh, we're doing well, I brought Jasper here, like, and this is not what I'm coming at.
There's no mask on. Yeah, I'm not being very camera.
I'm not Mr. Camera on this one, right? Yeah. This isn't the haha, this isn't the, oh, we gonna come back in victory lap. No, this is like, look, our lives are normal, we're done, I'm moved on. Jasper opened up his DMs, you know, if you want to ask him some questions. For me personally, I really don't want to.
I will. Yeah.
You know, like the planned assessments, you can ask me anything on a planned assessment, but this is it. You know, this is it. I don't know what more you can ask from this YouTube channel, because it's all documented for free. The individual brains are all credited, and I don't take credit for solely figuring it out whatsoever.
I can't believe people were bitching about that. I was amazed when I heard that people were bitching about that.
Yeah, I credited everyone, and I definitely think Leo played a gigantic role. And he had the, you know, magic gem compound that's also hyper dangerous, and you need to obviously weigh the risk to reward for yourself. But the variables around what caused it, multiple therapies have been mentioned, our direct path of exactly what we used, multiple videos of us communicating and you seeing that evolving.
And the outcome.
The outcome. How I visually look, how I visually talk, how he looks like a normal 21-year-old now, and that we can make it through this podcast very much simply. Like, I'd say like janky is like, we didn't come to like vibe it up and be like, yo, we did it, man. Like, that's what I didn't want on this video. Like the we did, like, nope. We get what it was like, and we don't want you to be hopeless. That's it.
Imagine we just came racked on this podcast. You're all like stoned, and I'm just slammed with like 6 beers in front of me. Guys, it all works. That would be kind of funny if you were like,
everyone told me it wasn't gonna work the whole time. Here I am.
That would have actually been funny, but that would have been bad. That would have been rubbing.
I mean, you would have been laughing. Like, it would be funny until I posted.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're not going to title it anything around that. I mean, it's just going to be Jasper and I doing well, but this is it. We are done with this chapter of Russo's channel, and it is cemented in my playlist. I will not be making any more content at all. We're not even titling this around the content. I'm not putting search shit in it. I'm not putting tags in it. I'm not putting the title of it in the title. It's just Jasper and I are doing well, and we did it, right? We did it. We are having a normal, meetup, right? He's meeting all my friends, and we're trying to hook him up with some e-commerce strategies from one of my friends. And then he met Julian, right? My car guy, and we are going to have a normal week together, right? Just vibe and really cement that connection, right? This is a connection that is a one-off death buddy type vibe, and we both have extreme edges that we edged together during that.
This isn't a friendship, You have people that you know for 4 or 5 years. You think you're really close with them, but there's nothing like ever really huge that happened that you're like, oh, I can never forget that guy. This is something that like literally, it's still so weird talking about because I don't ever think about it anymore. But thinking back, I actually just got like goosebumps. Like this is something that we went through that like I'll be 50 years old and be like, what's good, Ryan? Like, how are you doing, bro?
Yeah. When you're a multi-millionaire checked out with all your properties and shit, like, and we get on the phone, it's like, a beat never missed that connection.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And a lot of dudes search their whole life for a connection like this, and it's because we share an exotic transmutation of pain to where you said you were hopeless.
Yeah.
You transmutated that pain into hyperdrive.
Yeah.
And now you're hyper driven at 21 while all the other 21-year-olds are, well, you did do a little gambling stint.
We'll get we'll bring the vibe down here and there. Maybe not the smartest idea, but it happens.
And then, we'll touch on a little joke at the end. So, like, you did have a girl to some town you down. You did need refilled by me one time, but other than that,
Hey, just because you got edges doesn't mean you're truly. I am bulletproof. I'm not dead, but emotions too. We never talked about that. We'll touch on that. Yeah, we're bringing up I had girl issues. Whatever, it happens to everyone. But I was fortunate to have it happen. I was extremely fortunate. I'm like, whoa, because I hadn't felt anything for years. I was actually worried that I wouldn't be able to build a connection with a girl ever again, and that happened. And I was like, I've actually never felt this in my life. This is insane. I was calling him. Like I said, this is a relationship that will never be forgotten. Like, this is my guy. I call him for all kinds of things. And that happened. That was real emotion, and I experienced that, and that can happen. People that have girls right now, that are going through this, I'm sorry, it sucks. You probably don't have connection, because I didn't. I was completely gone, and that can happen again, and it'll hurt, but like, it was a good pain. It was like, oh, this is what it feels
Dude,
like.
It was such confirmation for nerd me, like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting fucked up by a Tinder chick, like, it actually worked. Like, I was like, oh boy, like, it's actually concrete proof.
Yeah.
Like, if you were still in that state, you wouldn't give
Oh, hell no.
You wouldn't give a fuck.
Like, respectfully, I was, like, through that recovery, like, before, like, full emotions came back, and I was still kind of gray. Some girls got fucked over. I feel really bad. That was bad karma on me. But like, it was extremely unintentional, because like, I talked to him, super cool person, but like, just so great, no emotions. And then it happened, and I was like, oh, my emotions are back. This is awesome. Dive into this. And then it gets snapped off, and you're like, damn it, I forgot that happens.
Yeah, so that's another confirmation. Like, so, yeah, he did get, he had a dynamic. It is what it is. He had a dynamic that's impossible to have during that. So there's another confirmation. And I have rekindled my, 12-year dynamic. So that was a 12-year dynamic was being shredded apart. So that's the weight of how bad that was. And we are rekindled. So yeah, we want you to have hope. We did share as much as we can, but yeah, this is going to be us signing off as far as this type of content. Like, I do think Jasper's a really good dude to continue to have his DM box open for free, but we don't have any new cutting edge information. Like, that's what we did. It's documented. Everyone had an opinion about it. It's over, and I will see you guys in my next video.